Okay, hello. My name is Darren. I'm a dad. I'm an airline pilot. I'm a husband of a scientist. It is Tuesday, June 8th at 5:43 p.m. Just getting started. I am not a professional streamer, so I have to do so many hoops to be able to see this. So bear with me while I enable so I can see my chat. And now I can see and no one's here yet. So yeah, my name is Darren. I'm a dad. I'm an airline pilot. I'm a husband of a scientist. Finished my Barcelona trip yesterday, and I go to Dublin next. When am I going to Dublin? I'm not telling you when I go to Dublin because people ask that question, and not you, but you are creepy. So I don't tell you when I'm flying somewhere. Evening, Gavin, Mr. Line Holder. I'm jealous of you just because you can hold a line and fly the 145. Just let you know. Evening, Ramon, Captain Mickey Mouse, and Jasper. So yeah, this month so far, all of my trips I'll be flying are first officer flying trips. Pretty neat. After 3 months of not flying, I'm gonna fly so far 4 times this month. Although I might trade out of. I'm supposed to go to Barcelona again later in the month. Kind of burned out of Barcelona, so I'm trying to trade into maybe a Madrid or a Venice trip. My Venice trade is gonna be processed tonight at 8 o'clock at night. See if I get it or not. Will I stream in Dublin? No, and here's why I don't stream when I'm on overnight. Because typically, unless it's London, there's only one flight in and one flight out. And I worry about the bad actors doing something stupid, like calling a threat to my flight or doing something stupid. Because they can figure out, hey, he's in Dublin right now. There's only one flight out. It's tomorrow. So. Hey, for me, I do like East Texas. I miss East Texas. Hey there, I recommend the pulled pork spot from your last video on Insta a long time ago. Sorry, it was mid. Well, SB Aviator, thanks for recommending it. I did enjoy the area of London. That was a nice area of London to go to, but I won't ever try that again. It was not very good. Maybe it would be better on a bagel. Probably not. Hey, Mr. Robbins, and from Tulsa, Oklahoma. Good evening, sir. Glad you had a great time, and I did have a great time in Barcelona. And I do want to go to Madrid. So Barcelona was, my trip this week. There'll probably not be a video about it because I didn't do anything. I got to Barcelona. The captain flew over, got to the hotel, and I should know better, but I didn't. The AC in my room was barely working. I said I'll give it a couple hours, and it cooled down a little bit. My last 2 times I was there, the AC worked much better. Anyways, I went to La Rambla. I had a very mediocre burger. Like, again, I know I'm in Barcelona, right? But the Google review of the burger place had like 10,000 reviews, 4.8 stars. Lots of recent reviews that it was good. I just wanted food. I wasn't craving anything. So I had a burger, fry, and a Coke, $18 US. And the burger was clearly cooked hours ago. Like, it was not fresh at all. And that kind of ruined it. So I just went to the grocery store because, again, I was in Barcelona on a Sunday. Sunday in Barcelona, not many things were open. So I had to go to Barcelona. I had to go to the grocery store off La Rambla to go to a big grocery store anyway. Got some groceries, back to the hotel, and I did edit, I did work on my video that's coming out tomorrow. I edited some video. I bought a new Nintendo Switch. I bought the Switch 2. Played some Switch 2, and went to bed. So didn't do much at all in Barcelona. Have you ever seen any UAPs? What's the UAP? Okay, is that like a UFO? No comment. Delayed in Toronto due to ground stop in Philadelphia. Worst thing is the door's open, and it's good and bad, right? You have to make all the announcements, but you're not getting paid. That's unfortunate. I do like the Toronto overnight. I'm betting you guys should stay by the airport, but if you're downtown, it's a fun place to go around downtown Toronto. Hey, Brian. Ireland is the kindest, nicest place we've been to. Drink a pure Guinness for me. We went to, hey, Mr. Silver. We went to Dublin years ago, a long time ago. I think in like 2015 or 16, my airline got an award. and they gave every employee at the airline 2 round-trip tickets, positive space, to anywhere they fly. We used ours as 4 one-ways, Dallas to Dublin. So we had a great time in Dublin. We were there for a week. I'm not much of a drinker, though, especially on overnights. Good evening from Chattanooga. I like Chattanooga. Chattanooga was a good overnight for me because we stayed at a Holiday Inn Express, and they had a good breakfast because I was a broke RJ pilot. Anyway, show you my 4-leg-a-day Charlotte line for your London line. It's nice overblocking on the ramp, though. It is nice overblocking on the ramp, and that's one perk of Charlotte is guys do overblock on the ramp. I saw the news today about the Charlotte airport renumbering of the runways. It's purely done in a Charlotte way. It looks very confusing. DFW London on July 30th. Am I flying it? I am not. As of now. There's always a chance, but right now, my trips for the rest of the month are Dublin, Barcelona, and Rome. Although the Barcelona is probably going to go away, hopefully here in the next 2 hours and 10 minutes when the 8 o'clock trading window processes, and I put in for a trade to go to Venice instead. I'm going to be in Dallas next month. Any food recommendations? Ice cream. Food recommendations, I would go to Hard 8 Barbecue. Hard 8 Barbecue. Ice cream, I'm not an ice cream person at all, so I can't help you there. But Hard 8 Barbecue is good. If you're in Arlington, Bigoti's Mexican food. It's a very small restaurant. It is not a chain. You walk in and you see the old lady cooking the food right there. Big O-T-E-S. Like Big O-T-E-S in Arlington, Texas. Fantastic Mexican food. But if you're in the chains, don't go there. No comment on UFOs. Hey, Darren, good to see you here after missing the last couple of YouTube lives. UTC +2. So you're at 0050 Zulu. Keep it on my watch. That must be somewhere on the East Coast or in the Caribbean. Oh, wait, you have the flag there. And I should know that flag. I don't know what that flag is, though. Copy image address, search Google Lens. That flag is the flag of South Africa. I should know that flag. Flight Doctor 777-300 ER just completed his first flight on the dev team. Looking forward to seeing you use it. I hope it is nice. Hey, Jay Bueno. Darren, next time try ordering. Oh, I don't know what that is. So I'm going to search Google Lens. Is that pizza? Paella? Paella. So I had paella on my very first overnight in Barcelona. It was fabulous. But with my semaglutide, I don't eat a lot. So I just want some small food. If the company finds out about an unfortunate event in a pilot's family while they're on a flight, will they tell you in flight or only after you land? After you land, there is no reason to disturb a pilot. You know, if, like my wife knows, if I'm on a trip and something bad happens, one, I have no Wi-Fi, but there's a phone number she can call. So if there's something big at home, she calls this phone number that gets to a pilot 24/7 that's trained to handle certain situations, and then that pilot can handle everything after that, including getting me back to Dallas as soon as possible or getting my whole family somewhere else. Like, say if my mother-in-law is fallen ill. I like my mother-in-law. She's very nice. Her name is Peggy. But she falls ill, and she's in dire straits. My airline will arrange for my family and all of my wife's siblings to get near positive space tickets, meaning if there's a seat open, they get it, guaranteed to go to the situation. We have so many UAS out here around Fort Cavas, aka Hood. Fort Hood. I know what Fort Hood is. I flew there a lot. Yeah, yes. Did your home simulator make you a better flyer as you were training? No. But it helped me be like I used to when I was doing my private pilot, for example, I would plan my cross countries and I'd fly my cross country on my home flight simulator just to get an idea. But no sim is like the real airplane. And never, ever, 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 ever. If you don't have your private pilot rating yet, don't try to teach yourself to fly on a home flight sim. You will have negative transfer of skills and information. A Cessna on a flight sim is perfect. A Cessna in real life is not. And winds change in real life. Winds on flight sims don't change. Thermals happen in real life. Any tips on overcoming air sickness as a student pilot? Look at your diet, Nabil. What are you eating? Maybe you're eating a lot of greasy food. Maybe you're not eating enough. Look at your water intake. Not like liquid intake. Don't be chugging a Coke Zero before a flight. But look at your liquid intake as well. I'll look up front to see if you might pick it up. There's always a chance. Darren, if your airline could start a new 777 international flight from DFW, what route would I want it to be? Hong Kong, Shanghai, Hong Kong first. Heart rate is the best I've ever had, both in Capella and Roanoke. But Mr. Kibitz, and I always say Mr. Kibitz because that's what I say to you, sir, the best one is in Stephenville, Texas. Dallas, any tips on instrument rating? Hey, Christian, make sure you're not under the hood too long. And whenever you're doing a non-precision approach, here's a trick that worked for me, and it works for a lot of people. I've recommended it to. When you're coming down to MDA, if MDA is 890 feet, go to 900 feet, and then add a little nose-up trim wheel or thumb trim, however you have trim in your aircraft, so that you're having to push down just a little bit to get down to close to 890. And here's why. If you get nervous during your scan and you relax on the controls, with a little nose-up trim, you'll climb a little bit. If you have it trimmed out perfectly and get a little nervous and sink to 880, you bust. You can always be above, never have to be at, right? In all my years of flying, I've had to go down to MDA on a non-precision approach exactly one time. And I remember what it was. I was going to New Orleans on runway 2, whatever the shorter runway is to the north. The long runway was out of commission, RNAV to the north. Weird cloud deck. Beyond that, I never had to do it before. It's very rare. Darren, always go to Terry Black's barbecue. That's the best I've ever had. Never been there. If you were to estimate, how close do you think you are to returning back to the Airbus captain as a captain? I could be captain right now. In fact, a buddy of mine, he was junior to me, but he bid 777 FO. He checked out in December, and on this most recent bid, he bid the Airbus captain. He's already like, I'm over it. I didn't ask him why. I'm sure he didn't care for it, but he's already checked out of the Airbus, the 777 going back to the Airbus. I can go back to the Airbus captain right now. A bid just closed. I could have held Airbus captain easily. I don't want to do it right now. So there's not a chance I'm doing it this year. If you think London security is painful, wait till you experience Dublin staff security. Don't say that, Mr. O'Regan, but it's got to be better than London. Do they still give you a physical at the AA campus? Crazy physical when I interviewed in 96. I passed, I think. Thanks. Mr. Gary Moore, they don't. When I got hired at Eagle in 07, we had a NASA light physical. It wasn't like you had, but we did have a physical at the headquarters in addition to the FAA physical. Hey, Mr. Rumsey, good evening. Happy 4th. It was Happy 4th. You ever have time to kill and want your life to change forever? Come to Oklahoma City to eat Mexican lamb stew, birria, at a place called Birria Diaz. I don't know, man. I like a lot of food. I don't know about lamb, though. And it's weird because I've eaten other things. But I don't like lamb chops. Top 3 airports I've ever visited. Probably ever. Probably Incheon. Fargo, North Dakota. Yeah, I said that. Fargo is a nice airport, believe it or not. In Amsterdam. Yeah. Hey, Darren, just wanted to tell you, thank you so much for inspiring me to pursue my aviation career. 32, decided to quit my job and go to flight school. Passed my PPL a few weeks back. Nick Aviate, dude, high five to you. Again, 1, passing the PPL, and 2, taking that step. I'm sure it was beyond stressful, extremely nerve-wracking. I bet you wake up every day thinking, what have I done? But you only have one life. And it's easy to say one day. It's much harder to say, today is the day I'm going to do it. Congratulations, sir. Currently flying with one of the large fractionals. I'm 53. It's too late to go to a major? Nope. I spend too much on low seniority lists. Burke, you're fine. You're 53, right? You have a lot of time, I'm sure. You can still be captain by the time you're 58, and that's pushing it. Right now, where I work, the junior captain is under 2 years. If you want to be captain, right? If you just want to say, go for a major, have a more set schedule in life, you can make a ton of money, have great quality of life as a first officer for the next 12 years. And then go back to the 135 if you want to. And in one of your videos, you said that pilots in the industry don't do captain. Just curious, what's about becoming captain? Because it's a, especially on the 777 and a major airline, we do the same job. The person in the left seat has the ultimate final say, but we do the same job. So for many, why take the seniority hit to go be captain? Yeah, it's more money. I itch my nose, but you take a seniority hit to fly the same plane a few feet over, but have a lower seniority. Or have better seniority, sit in the right seat, a better schedule, fly the same trips or better trips. Now, some people see it as an achievement to be captain. I've been captain before, but some people are like, hey, I love flying. I like my quality of life. I like bidding. I want to go to Tokyo 3 times a month on Tuesdays every week, and that's all I ever want to do. Fly to Tokyo and fly back, and that's it. It's a senior trip. I can hold it. I'm good. I flew with the first officer on my Maui trip. He can hold 777 captain. What he wants to do is to fly to Hawaii. He wants to fly to Hawaii. That's all he wants to do. He does not care to go to London or anywhere else to Europe. He likes Hawaii. As a senior first officer, now he understands you can either do, getting into weeds, 4 Londons is about 80 hours a month. But 4 Hawaiis is only 60 hours a month. So he has to do an extra 3-day trip to equal out the pay differential. But for him, that's all he ever wants to do. So I got called for August 20th class. Couldn't be more excited to get started with y'all. Hey, Joseph, dude. High five, man. Freaking awesome. If you're married, if you have a spouse, someone important in your life, make a concerted effort to get them to go to the dinner that they do for the new hires. It's a really special dinner. My wife couldn't go, unfortunately, because of kid issues and work issues. But if your spouse, somebody important in your life, even your mom or dad can go. It's a pretty awesome dinner to go to. Welcome aboard, sir. Have you ever had celebrities on your flight? Yes. I have never flown a charter flight, though. Hey, Darren, do you know of any pathways for Australians to fly in the United States? Cav okay? I do not. I think SkyWest for a long time was getting a lot of Australians on board, but I don't know. I know nothing about that pathway at all. Sorry. If flown with Captain Steve, I've never met Captain Steve. How old is too late to become a pilot for an airline? If you have no ratings at all, I think if you're 50 with no ratings, I say 55 with no ratings is too late. If you're 50, you can still do it and still retire a captain at an airline. 55 is pushing it, though. Have you seen the latest Vaz Aviation video? I have not. What's the hardest airport to taxi? I thought Barcelona was crazy. Barcelona is annoying. So is Madrid. I still don't like LaGuardia, but I haven't been there very much because it has a lot of small taxiways. And a lot of Barcelona has to do with the accents. They speak so fast in English, and here's my pet peeve I had with Barcelona my last trip. I was first officer. I was talking to ATC. They told me 12235. That's what I heard. I read back 122.35. They said correct. I went to 12235. There was no one there. I went back. Said, 122235. Don't tell me I'm correct. I said it wrong. And when I talk on the radio, I talk super slow. 122.35. And they said correct. And that was not correct. And they did a lot in Barcelona. Hey, thanks for getting my resume ready and put the apps out. Yeah, Burke. And if you can, go up to Washington to OBAP and next month in August. They're doing on-the-spot interviews and hiring, most likely, by multiple airlines. Hey there, curious, what did you ever get? Did you ever fail or feel like you were coming close to failing a check ride during your PPL to MEI training? Nope. No, I never failed. Did I think I was gonna fail? Every time. Sorry, those dry. I thought I was gonna fail every time. Every check ride, I thought I was gonna fail, but I never failed anything in the beginning. You're down at 50. Recent furlough from Spirit. Previous 20-year experience as a 320 captain. Can I still reach quality of life joining AA this late? Toban, yeah, you can. Yeah, even if you're 50, you get on a property here, you can be captain again if you really want to be captain again by the time you're 52. It's a 2-year upgrade right now. 2-year upgrade. So yeah, you have plenty of time. Chicago's the bane of my existence for taxing. Oh, I don't mind Chicago. Nicest hotel I've ever stayed at. Stayed some fancy ones in the Caribbean, but I think the nicest overall, I had an unscheduled overnight in Toronto. I was on the Super 80, and it was a crazy trip. It was a deadhead to Philly, then get on Eagle to deadhead to Toronto. I was supposed to fly back an MD-80 the same day. Didn't happen. Got to Toronto, the plane wasn't ready yet. There was some big convention in town. Our normal hotel was full. I stayed at some hotel that had the name Prince in it. I had a giant suite. I walked in, and it had like a boardroom in the middle, and then all these other bedrooms. I was only there for 8 hours, but that was fancy though. Do you make more money flying nights only, or is it all about this? Is it the same as day? There's no night differential here. Same pay. Come and see why I double I check right tomorrow. The nerves are kicking in. But Tyler, now listen, dude. You passed the CFI, man. Now I'm not saying it's a cakewalk of a check ride, but it's toned down from the CFI. You got this. Spanish ATC is known to not be the gold standard in Europe. You know what's funny? You mentioned that. So coming back from Barcelona, we came almost straight across the Atlantic Ocean. We entered the U.S. over Norfolk, Virginia. Normally we go over Canada and Gander. So we stayed in Santa Maria, which is Spain ATC, the whole time. I won't tell the story, but yeah, their ATC leaves a lot to be desired. You can kind of BS them sometimes. Where did you go for your flight training? ATP flight school. 19 years ago. I don't recommend any flight school. Period. Did first officers have a captain with you during your recent or recurrent oral? We don't have recurrent oral. We don't have recurrent orals here. In fact, there is no oral exam where I work. Have you ever had a Greg's whilst in London? It's quintessential an English must. Greg's whilst. I don't know what that is. I'm going to Google it. I'm betting I haven't. I don't drink on overnights typically, so whilst. I don't know what that is. Huh. Darren, I'm currently in Houston getting typed an ATP in the Falcon, hoping to get 1000 TIPC and join the majors in a few years. Hey, Man Fung, congratulations on getting your type rating. And Darren, how often are pilots paid? We're paid twice a month. And when are pilots officially on the clock is determined by the doors closed pushback, or does it vary by airline? I have no idea how it works elsewhere. Where I work, keeping it stupid simple. If I'm flying Dallas to London, keeping it really stupid simple. If I leave at 10 o'clock in the morning, supposed to get there at 6 in the morning. Forget that. I leave here at 3 in the afternoon, supposed to land at 6 p.m. Call it a 10-hour flight. I'm probably wrong, but it's 10 hours. That's what the airline said the flight should take. If I block out, meaning the door closes, the parking brake is released, at 9:50, the clock starts. If I get there at 5:50, the clock stops. It's 10 hours. I'm paid nothing extra. If I leave at 5:50 p.m. and get there at 6 o'clock in the morning, I'm paid 10 extra minutes. If I leave here at 5:50 p.m. So I leave here at 10 minutes early, and I get there half an hour late, I get paid an extra 40 minutes. So it's block or better. Are you referring to San Fran Speedburst? Why did you become a pilot? What did you do before? I became a pilot because my wife told me I should find a new career. I used to be an IT guy. I sat in a cubicle and I did software for gas stations. Um, I've been flying on my computer since I was in 6th or 7th grade. I've always wanted to be a pilot, but I was told you had to have good eyes, it'd be good in math to be a pilot. I had bad eyes. I failed college algebra. I didn't think it was possible. But my wife pushed me to change new careers, and I did. Can you quickly but detail a type rating process for exams, min knowledge, and types of sims and scenarios covered? I cannot. It's not. You do a type rating. You go through all the systems of the airplane, and then you do multiple flights of training in that aircraft, and then you are examined in the simulator to make sure you can live a flight up to standards. And as far as in a video, I can't do it because that would get too much into the weeds and too much into company-specific procedures and stuff that we do here, and I can never do that here. I'm not allowed to. At what point is a flight considered a night flight? Oh, that's a far aim question. It's like Twilight Sentinel, something about what time that actual sunset. It's an official thing. I don't log nighttime anymore. Greg's coffee. Ah, thank you. How often do you block people from being able to fly with you? I never have. Actually, I've only done it once in my entire career. Greg's national bakery chain. Interesting. Have you ever flown in the new flagship suites? I have not. Now I gotta search a Greg's near my hotel in London. So let me look up my hotel in London real quick. See, now I'm gonna be destined to go to London again because of the people. Greg's. See locations. And there is one not too far from my hotel. I'm going to save it. Want to go. Now it's starred. I just passed my instrument check ride yesterday. Do you have any tips for a commercial? Dude, first, Nico, Knuckles, congratulations. For commercial, yeah, man. Everything should be smooth. You should have a sense of authority about yourself. And have fun with chandels and lazy eights. I hate those maneuvers. I did not go to Flight Sim Expo. Thoughts on how great the addition of another runway in Charlotte is going to be? It's going to be a crap sandwich. Had a captain last trip say he actually enjoyed flying there. Couldn't believe what I was hearing. Mr. Olson, some people love Dunkin' Donuts coffee. Some people really love, name something that's also mediocre. Store brand vanilla ice cream. I think the new runway is just going to make a regional airport worse. I've always wondered, do DPEs keep a majority of the check ride fee, or does something go toward the FAA? I have no idea about DPEs. Do you use ForeFlight, or does my airline pay for it, or use a company flight aware? Mr. Gary Moore, we use JEP FD Pro, and I believe they will merge with ForeFlight, so it's a merge of the two, but yeah, it's JEP FD Pro. It's all paid for by the company. The company gives me loaned me an iPad Air 5. Has cell data for everywhere I fly. They maintain it. They say I can use it for personal use if I want to. I do not. Only thing I have on there on my company iPad that's personal is photo of my wife and kids. That's it. What's the difference from a sim instructor and a normal line holder? Well, there's different things, right? A sim instructor, we have people at my airline who only teach in a sim. That's all they do. They just they're not line pilots ever. They never fly the real plane. All they do is teach sim. A line holder is a line pilot that we fly the line. And can you pick it if you have? Well, no. So you can't. If you are a line, like right now, I'm a first officer. When I upgrade to captain, once I have enough hours in, I can apply to be a check airman and be an instructor. At that point, I can teach in the sim and in the real plane. Darren, I understand you joined airlines pre-Colgan. Did you have a lot of dual given? Yes. Yes. I had 540 total time, 420 multi when I got hired here. So I had like 300 and some odd hours of dual given. It's not a lot, really. How do you set up ETOPS critical point? Lucho, so I saw your comment, and I was going to respond to you. We don't do that on the 777. We have different paperwork. I meant to respond to you. I haven't done it yet. I thought about you yesterday coming back from Barcelona. We don't do. I know you're asking. We don't do that on 777. We did that on the Airbus. We don't on 777. We do circles, but it's not for ETP or anything else. It's just to know where the airport is. During your initial pilot training, PPL to MEI, what would you say you struggled with the most overall? Speaking clearly and confidence and confidence. Airbuses always have an annoying bouncy sound that feels like something's about to fall off. Obvious equipment, but what would love to know what it is. It depends if you're hearing it like when the door closes and when the engine starts, it's the PTU. If you Google Airbus PTU is what you're probably hearing. Can you have a part-time job while in school? Not at most flight schools. What advice would you give to a 39-year-old married dude making $300,000 a year but hates his job and dreams of being a pilot? So, Mr. Holder, here's what I would do. I'm going to assume you're like me and you have a lot of excess cash. If you have enough free time and you're pretty studious, you didn't say you had kids, but I'm assuming you have kids. I'm assuming you don't have kids. You could find a local flight school, or even better, find a professional CFI nearby that owns their own airplane. Say, listen, I want to be a pilot. I am not interested in rushing. I want to do this at a good pace. I want to study 3 times a week on these days. Bankroll your own flight school, pay for it that way. There are professional CFIs out there that own their own airplane and they just teach. Learn to fly that way. Get your private. Want to go further? Cool. Get your instrument. Now you can fly in the clouds. Now you can say, hey, you know what? I'm going to be cool for a while. Go rent a plane on the weekends, fly a family around. Get some time in. Get the commercial hours. Cool. All right. Go get your commercial rating. Cool. Now maybe you're 34 years old, right? Even you have maybe 1,000 hours now flying around. Keep on going, and if you want to make a jump to an airline, at that point you could. No debt. Youngest 777 pilot I've seen in my airline is 35 years old. About around 30 minutes after sunset, civil twilight, hour after sunset to log night landings. Thank you, T-Tap. I don't log that anymore. I used to know that. You guys should know that. I don't know that. Thanks. That's what I want to know. How to set up circles on the fixed page. So our circles on a 777, you can only set up a max circle of 511 miles. I'm pretty sure it's a memory thing. It's 512 memory. That's a number for like base 10, I think, something. So we just do a 511-mile ring, and then we do 435, another ring at 435 miles as well. That's all involved with ETOPS. I can consider putting it into a video, but it's just you go to the fixed page, you put in the airport code, and you just do the slash radial or slash distance at 511 or 435. I have a preference between hand flying the 200 or 300. No, the 300 is more sloppy. It's more like a Cadillac than 200 is. They're both really slow to react as far as the big wing, right? You don't do anything quick on the planes. I prefer the way a 300 lands over a 200. The problem is I only fly a 300 to or from London or Tulsa, Oklahoma. That's it. Because the 300 from my base only goes to London. Why? Because that's where they say it has to go. In our CFI, should I look for 135 to boost resume or hope to get hired by regional at 1,500 hours? Mr. Finn, right rudder. I'm sure you know, if you like teaching and you're getting good hours right now, and it's safe equipment and you're treated well and you're paid well, you stay where you stay the course. 135 works, but I don't want you to personally to go to 135 that's gonna treat you like crap and make you eat ramen noodles and live in crappy hotels. Because here's the deal, right? I'm a quality life guy. If you're at a good place right now, solid company, steady students, good hours, good equipment, they treat you right and they pay you well, stay. You're happy. Now, if you're like, dude, no, Darren, you don't understand. I logged 20 hours last month. I spent more time cleaning the airplanes, then maybe leave. Because what if you do go to a 135 and it's crappy? It's there. It's a crappy job. They treat me like crap, but I fly 90 hours a month. I'll hang it out. But what if the music stops, the music gets slower, and now you get stuck there, and your old CFI job is gone, and now you're somewhere where you don't want to be, and you end up hating life? That's just me. If you can find a good 135 that treats you right, pays you well, I say go for it. Because the resume is important, but it's also, who you know and how you look on the resume. It's not just hours, right? What else do you bring to the table? Do you volunteer with your church, Habitat for Humanity? Do you volunteer with OBAP ACE Academies? Do you volunteer with Women in Aviation? Do you volunteer with Pacific Pilot Association? That kind of thing. AOPA, Civil Air Patrol. What else do you bring to the table? What makes you better looking on paper than the schmuck next to you? I'm exceptionally average. I got my current job by going to job fairs, listening to these speakers, and making my resume so good that when they looked at the schmuck next to me, they're like, yeah, Darren, let's go, let's talk. That's what got me here. Persistence, listening to the speakers, making myself better than the next schmuck next to me. If you're that schmuck watching me, sorry. Hey Darren, how extensive was your very first pilot job interview regarding your aviation knowledge? We went through we had a tech portion, a HR portion, and a SIM portion. The tech portion was going through a bunch of JEP charts and arrivals and departure procedures and that kind of thing. Mr. Holder, you're very welcome. Darren, I'm patiently waiting for a video where you go back to GA flying. Mr. Morio, Kessie, I am Gunter. I probably got Gunter right. That's gonna be a while. Do you always rotate where the flight director shows if it's like 20 degrees, or do you stop at 15 degrees? No, we pitch into the flight director bars. We're pitching for V2 plus, V2 plus or minus, plus 10 really, never minus. So you don't want to pitch low. You pitch up to you want to be at V2 or better. I instructed out of the Seminole, and I've only flown one twin in my entire life. That's the Seminole, so that would be my favorite. Fuark. Did you read everything on the teleprompter like Ron Burgundy did in Afterman? I don't have a teleprompter. I do have a teleprompter app. When I'm making my videos, if you saw all my B-roll and all my edits, I just sit here and talk. I talk off the cuff, and I do multiple takes because I have a stutter. Aloha, Jenny. I went to Kona. You see my video tomorrow. I'm not a beach person. I'm not a Hawaii person. But we went to the green sand beach. If you know where it is in Kona, Jenny, I didn't go down to the beach because it's kind of rocky and sketchy. My family did. I didn't go down there. I looked up from above. I did go to the black sand beach. That was kind of neat. I heard you give the trim trick before instrument. What was it again? Hey, Mr. Connor. So if MDA is 900 feet, go down to 910, add some nose up trim, and work, not a whole lot, but enough that you have to put a little pressure on the yoke to get down to 900 feet. That way, if you're under the hood, and you're nervous, and you're doing your scan, and you relax, at worst, you climb, and you notice it, versus if you go down to 900 feet, and it's trimmed out perfectly, and you get nervous, and you sink, you might not notice it, but you busted. I want to be a paramedic? I can't stand blood. Hey, Darren, do airlines look through your driving history? They do, and I don't know what they look for. Tickets are fine, mostly DUIs and accidents, but I have no idea what they look for. I feel thankful I don't have to go through semi-vowels during an interview. That is gone now. I did my semi-vowel in a DC-10. DC-10. I did the ILS 25 left to LAX, missed approach to Seal Beach to hold in a DC-10. I had 500 hours. Oh yeah, I heard on the 300 you pitch up 7.5 degrees before pitching up to the director bars during takeoff. How true is that? I don't do that. Well, because on the 300, the gear kind of rotate. On 300 when you rotate, I don't have. If this is the strut, when you rotate, you're kind of rotating like this, and the wheels are still on the ground. It takes a while for the gear to get off the ground. But no, you rotate, you feel the plane going up, and you keep pulling back. Because if you just rotate and stop, you could be just wheeling down the runway. But I don't look at degrees pictured ever. Hey, Darren just moved to Kansas City full time for flight school. Start on Friday, hoping all goes well. Hey, Mr. Rickstein. Hope it does go well for you. Do some reading, and you're gonna feel overwhelmed the first week. You're gonna feel overwhelmed. You might think, no, Darren, I have prepared for this for the last year. I got this. No, you're gonna feel overwhelmed, and it's fine. You're gonna come back and think you made the biggest mistake in your life, and it's fine. Learning to fly is a skill. That's it. It's a skill. It's a new thing you have to learn. You'll get it. You're gonna have all this new information that you didn't even think about pumped into your head, and you're like, why do I need to know all this crap? Because you do. You just have to learn it. And the biggest advice I have to you is to ask questions. When you are driving home from flight school and you think of something to ask a question, and you have an iPhone, this is the wrong phone. Say hey and the S word. Remind me to ask this question tomorrow. When you are in bed, going to bed, and you think, oh yeah, I should ask that. Open up the Notes app and write down the question and ask your CFI. Ask every single question. The worst thing you can do to yourself is not ask the question. Go for your check ride. That situation comes up that you didn't ask about, and you fail because you didn't ask a question. Almost done with the live. Need to get my A&P before I'm working my PPL. A&P is very important to have. Just curious, are you still proficient flying 172? I can fly 172. I wouldn't be very smooth, but I can still fly it. Trick saved my butt for my single engine approach in the Seminole. Omar. Awesome, Omar. I've arrived. Have no fear. Well, Mr. Mueller, welcome aboard. And I am almost done. How long have I been going? I've been going for 41 minutes. That's pretty long because my throat's getting dry. I will have a new video up tomorrow. It's a long video. I'm going to warn you right now. I was going to do a part 1, part 2. And I hate part 1, part 2. So I kind of made it this one video. It's like 52 minutes long. I'm sorry. It was 35 minutes long, and then added to part 2, just added onto it. I'll have chapters. It's covering my flight to Maui, including flight sim work. So I have a whole approach in there on the video. The flight back from Maui, then going to Honolulu, going to Kona, then going to Denver, and then going back to Dallas Fort Worth. So it's a long video. I appreciate your support. I might have 2 videos. I might have a video also covering my month of June on reserve and how I met my goal and then some. Last one I'm going to answer is going to be Kevin Stoker. Then I gotta go. Have you ever watched B1 simulations on YouTube? I have not. Any tips on task management? Currently struggling with Hey, Tyler! Getting everything done prior to VFR diversions while also trying to fly the plane and set up for the approach. Yeah, slow everything down. I slow everything down. And if you get task saturated, multitasking is a myth. No one can multitask. So finish a task or get to a point, stop, and check something else. And if you have to, ask to hold. Delay vectors. Plan as much as you can on the ground, but never get in a rush on the airplane. Hope it's going well, Mr. Herrick. It's hot out there. Next time, show an RNAV approach. Hey, Lucho, I am. My approach into Maui is an RNAV RNP approach to runway 2. It's coming up tomorrow. 2 planes leave the same airport at the same time, traveling in opposite directions. One plane is traveling with the headwind. The other has to go to the storm. Which one gets to Pittsburgh first? That's in the C.R. Smith Museum. Look forward to the video. A new background pic, please. Catching late, but want to say salute my brother. Hey, thank you, Rolo. Flow American next year. What can I expect during initial training, especially bidding for equipment? Matt B, you get whatever you get. You probably get 7-3 New York, or you get New York, Miami, or LA. It's similar training. It's easier, though. It's happier here. Can you bid a minimum amount of hours if you have seniority? Yes. Hey, last one, Hector. Hey there. Work for the same company, but on 737, going on 777. Next bid. Out of curiosity, how do you log or keep track of your flight time on the wide body between FO, FB, FC? So, Hector, I don't log my time anymore. So I use the APA logbook. It does it all for me. APA logbook does it all for me. I haven't touched my own logbook in 4 or 5 years. The company does, though. And I explain this in my next video. Real quick example. If I fly Dallas to London, 3-person crew, I get 2/3 of the flight time. I fly Dallas to London, 4-person crew, I get half the flight time. Sweet. You guys have a great day. My name is Darren. I'm a dad. I'm my husband behind this. Please click subscribe, drop a comment, click like. Have a great day. And as always, gotta find my mouse. Thank you for stopping by. Boo!